What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lou from Lou Talks Anime, and welcome to the Anime Association. We're a podcast of weebs that will be bullshitting at length about anime, probably for around an hour. With me today, I have Dakota Broski from Dakota Broski TV. Say hello.
Oh, hi. How's it going, everybody? My name is Dakota Broski from Dakota Broski Anime TV.
Allie from Allie the Brave.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Allie from Allie the Brave.
And Jack from Under the Scope. Jack?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Jack from Under the Scope Reviews.
I am Jack's delayed reaction. So I've been watching a lot of anime. I know Dakota has been watching a lot of anime. We've all been watching a lot of anime. Who wants to go first? Who is excited about what they've been watching?
Sure, I'll do it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, a little bit of backstory for that.
Exciting, Dakota. We want exciting.
Alright, guys, so just let you know right now, for my New Year's resolution, I made an anime a week, one anime a week, 4 months. I said 4 animes per month. That's 1 month and 1 year. Okay, can you not believe that I actually have 1 anime per week I'm watching now? First is Yuki Yuna, Geass April, and Bountiful Bones, Beautiful Bones.
When are you going to auctioneer school?
I'm just ready to drop my hottest mixtape of 2016.
I bet you can
Spitting
spit
that
some
hot
sick
fire.
flows.
No, for my New Year's resolution, I decided to watch 1 anime a week, or at least 12 episodes of a full anime. I started out with Beautiful Bones, Umaru, and Your Lie in April. But recently, I've been watching Code Geass. I finally picked up R2, and then I'm watching Yuki Yuna.
Nice. I'm a big fan of Yuki Yuna, and I don't think a lot of people have seen it, and I don't know why, because it's a really well animated show. It's done by the same director that did Angel Beats, and I think it does a lot of things really well. And my experience with it was a little bit different, because I don't think that many people realized that it was a magical girl show, because like at no point in the promotional material did it really say that. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience for me. What do you think so far, Dakota?
I'm liking it. I'm on episode 4 right now, and the only thing I can say about it is it. Let me just go ahead and put this out there for a lot of people that let's have a heart-to-heart fans. Madoka Magica hurt us. As great as it was, it hurt us for any anime that's a magical girl that comes out afterwards, to where you think something terrible is going to go down. And right now, it's hinting subtle like aspects to foreshadowing something that might go bad. And I'm a little worried, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I like how the world is presented and how the magical girl fights also are presented. It's building up a nice little world with how like there's an organization out there that basically gives you a phone app that basically makes you a magical girl.
Man, my life would be great if that was a thing.
It honestly is, and like I like the fat cow spirit that wanders around.
Yeah, fat cow spirit is the best.
Yeah, it's a good magical girl. Like if you're a fan of magical girl shows, this is definitely one to go into. For so far, 4 episodes in.
So, would you say that it leans more towards like the Madoka Magica, Princess Tutu side of magical girl shows, or like the Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura?
I want to say it really has a lot of it has Madoka aspects when it comes to fighting the monsters and the inevitable end that is some big overarching plot point that's going to come up sometime in the future, and how it's weird because it's like a once it happens, you're in the world. It's not like we have to go fight and we have to go find this person to fight them. It's if shit hits the fan, you're automatically put into the world if you're on call. There is no animal that gives you powers. There's just animals that are accompanied by you. So it has aspects of both, but I think it leans more towards the Madoka side to magical girl shows.
Just without the Ura Butcher.
Yeah, pretty much. I would be inclined to agree that, like Madoka Magica, what Yuki Yuna does is it kind of transports its magical girls to a different setting to have their battles. One thing which Dakota at this point has probably seen is there are implications of those battles in the real world.
Yeah, with like the car crash.
Yeah, exactly. They manifest through natural disasters. So it's really interesting how it's handled. And I think one of the strong points apart from these battle scenes and just the magical girl aspects of the show outside of that is the characters. They're all really quirky and have a fun dynamic between them.
Oh god, if you ever want to be curious though, it's scary how many of the English voice actors for Yuki Yuna have actually worked on Madoka Magica, which actually scares me a little more too.
That's really interesting.
Like, I think the Twin Tails, like the tsundere girl is also Sayaka, or aka the blue slut from Madoka Magica.
The blue slut.
Yeah, she basically gave up her whole life so her boyfriend can yank one and play piano or violin or whatever it was.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's shockingly true.
To reference Megangsta, gotta be the violin version of Snoop Dogg, yo.
Yeah, the violin. Oh man, my Gangsta Magica. If you don't want to watch Madoka, just watch that and you'll basically have the same thing. Anyway, so Magical Girls. Lou, what can you tell me that I should expect without like spoiling everything for me?
I honestly don't want to say anything more than what we've discussed because things take a very interesting turn, and you do see it coming because you've already mentioned the foreshadowing. But I don't want to say to what degree things happen.
It was literally spelled out for me. Quite literally.
We'll see how you feel by the end of the show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Allie?
someone who hasn't seen Yuki Yuna, I find it really... I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it really makes me want to watch it. It's one of those shows that's been on my list for a while, but I really need to sit down and watch it, because I really want a good magical girl show lately. I really need a good magical girl show in my life.
The only thing that's come out in recent years that have been good magical girl shows for me, besides Madoka, there was also, oh god, what was that one show, the tarot cards? It was a magical girl, Lisa did the opening.
Selector Infected WIXOSS.
No, but that one I need to look up too. It was Daybreak Illusion, that was it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow, but I totally thought Selector Infected as well.
I should try that one then.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you actually described Selector Infected to a T.
Now that I think about it, yeah, it does match up as well with Daybreak Illusions, because in Daybreak Illusions they do get the main character does do a lot of tarot card readings.
Yeah.
And I think that their powers or the magical girl names are based off of tarot cards. So I didn't like the show, but
it was
a detail worth noting.
I watched it because of the opening, and I love Lisa, so that's like the only thing that kept me going. The character designs were weird.
Oh, Lisa's the best.
Their like thighs were as equally. It had the weird character designs where like their thighs were as equally thin as their wrists.
Oh, yeah.
Unrealistic body standards for women.
And anybody
guys.
who was an adult that wasn't like in their teens and or mid-20s looked fucking retarded.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So Allie, where's
Dakota,
your
you
hype
mentioned
at?
that you also watched Your Lie in April.
Oh yeah, actually I got halfway through it. I'm still continuing it.
What do you think of it so far? Have you cried yet?
Oh god, I'm worried because it goes right back to the foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, talking about spelling foreshadowing out for you, jeez.
I know, it was like, I was sitting there, I remember I messaged Aaron, I think, immediately after a certain episode, and I was like, this show can't do this to me, man, it can't. I'm like, why is she going into the bathroom to take pills? They're not pills, they're candy, she likes candy, it's exactly what it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, they stuff it down your throat.
Everything's gonna be daijoubu.
Can I say something that will make the three of you want to stab me?
Oh god, what is it?
I didn't like the show.
Here we go.
Really?
I dropped it halfway through.
That won't...
For what reasons?
Honestly, I couldn't stand how it handled its comedy. Like, the comedy didn't need to be there at all.
That's fair.
It really pissed me off and took me out of the dramatic moments that... I understand that they were there to break up the tension. Like, you can't have that much heavy subject matter and people cope with it well. Like, the story won't flow if you do that. But honestly,
I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, it was like at the moments of the highest tension, the comedy would come in at just the worst possible time.
I absolutely agree.
And it definitely took me out of the experience. And honestly, the little love triangle that developed at the midway point.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hated. Yeah, I could not stand the love triangle. It was just totally unnecessary.
It was completely unnecessary.
If you could take out the side character, the soccer playing side character, I'd be happy with the whole show. I think that would honestly fix a majority of the problems that were
He
with the
really
show.
did annoy me during that whole show. I'm not even gonna lie.
The main duo, I mean, their story was totally fine. I loved their story, but it was a lot of the stuff around it that was the problem for me. But I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, when I saw the introduction of a love triangle, I
but
thought
not
it was an
nearly as much as
easy
it could've.
out. Sorry about that though, Jack. What were you saying?
My problem with love triangles, I always end up choosing the eventual loser in love triangles, and this was like the one time where it was so blatantly unnecessary and unforced and underdeveloped that it was just, yeah, no, it was stupid.
I understand that. Yeah. If in like romance shows and stuff like that, if you throw in a love triangle, I'm immediately gonna be like, are you serious? Could we have done this in a way that you don't need to like have it become a competition between like two girls, and in some cases you get like the reverse, where it's like a girl with two guys. I feel like if you want to develop a good relationship, you shouldn't have to throw in a love triangle.
I think that if you do a love triangle right, I'll be happy with it. Like, for example, I think back to like Golden Time when I hear love triangle, and I'm like, that was done relatively well. Because you had even amount of people going for even amount of the girls.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Golden Times love.
Triangle.
Yeah, Golden Triangle.
Golden Triangle.
I didn't have a problem with Golden Triangle. But Golden Times love triangle was actually pretty okay with me. Like,
it was more of a love square though, because there was the ghost boundary.
That is true.
That was the one part of the show I did not
That's true.
like.
Well, nothing can
Dakota.
compare to
Ghost boundary was like the most awkward ball out of that show I could even imagine.
I did like the issue with like the car, like him getting involved with like when they almost got into the car
really
accident.
Cool scene. And then her father just bitch slaps him.
Oh, yeah.
Her.
It was honestly one of the few shows that I think handled like the amnesia thing pretty well. Like usually amnesia is just a total cop
I agree.
out in a show, just a plot device. But I felt like Golden Time like actually used it to its advantage instead of just feeling forced.
I agree.
Yeah.
Although if we're talking about love triangles, my favorite love triangle would definitely have to be Sakurasou.
Sakurasou is really
anybody
good
else
with
has seen
that. I agree with you. I really liked Sakurasou as a show. Has anyone else seen it here?
Yep. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it was the rare instance where I like extremely liked both.
I absolutely
of the
agree with
girls.
you.
And also, and related to them in different ways too.
I want to watch this because I think I've seen... It's on my list. It's on my list, I swear.
Sakurasou actually hurt me in a lot of ways. I remember watching that, and it almost like felt to me like when I watched Honey and Clover, if anyone's seen that. I have a tendency to really like slice of life shows that just hit in a weird way for me, and that was definitely one of them. Sakurasou, and even Honey and Clover, if anyone else has seen it, but...
Sakurasou, what?
Oh yeah, I mean its themes are pretty hardcore.
The girl from Sakurasou,
just in terms of success and failure.
the girl from Sakurako actually reminds me, or Sakurasou, reminds me of,
That's gonna get
the voice actor from Shirobako. Like they feel like they're the same character with the same ambitions, and they go through the same problems.
Which one? Miyamori.
Oh, I don't remember
and
names from Shirobako.
Mashiro?
The voice actor girl. Like both shows had girls that were voice actors.
Oh yeah.
That had
I agree
very similar
completely. Yeah, and that was
designs.
probably why Shizuka, I think, was her name. But yeah, no, I completely agree, and that was also probably why they were both my favorite characters out of those two shows.
Yeah, I really did like the voice acting.
The way that they tried, like their struggle was extremely similar, and both executed really well.
I haven't seen any of these shows, so I'm just kind of like chilling here.
Yeah, I've only seen Sakurasou, so I can't agree if the other show did it well.
Actually, I have a question.
Shoot.
Allie,
Yes.
what have you been watching? And you need to make it hype.
Make it hype.
Yeah, you need to sound hype going into this question.
Oh my god, I've been watching Tari Tari lately, which is just like this pretty normal slice of life, and it made me cry at like episode 5, and I haven't been watching too much.
I regret ever requesting this.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get like all feelsy on you guys. So I cried like so hard over this like slice of life show, and it meant everything to me. But on a serious note, it's one of the first anime that I've sat down and just, it looked interesting to me, so I just threw it on and got really sucked in. Because it was a nice little refreshing slice of life that actually just hit me in the feels around like episode 5, 6. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm actually really excited to see where it goes. I don't know if it'll hold up to where it's at right now, but I'm really excited to see where it goes.
I'm extremely susceptible to the feels, so I might have to check it out.
Yeah, I'm in the mood for another music show, and HaruChika
It is a music show.
Yeah, it's not like really hitting me or HaruChika isn't really hitting me at the moment, and I need something to replace Euphonium, so I'll try to give Tari Tari a shot.
Yeah, I'm actually
I
really
agree
liking it.
Yeah, HaruChika is just making me want UFO season 2 like tomorrow.
I'm really kind of a slut for music shows that are done well. Like, my favorite part of Your Lie in April was just the piano scenes and just all the characters playing it, because I just love the renditions of all the pieces in them.
Just to put out there, for anybody who's curious, if you like search on Spotify Your Lie in April, people have put together playlists of all the performances they have on there.
Wow.
It's so great. I've been listening to it nonstop, doing everything. My favorite is Winter something. I forgot already, but I like it a lot. It's the first performance we hear out of the black-haired girl from his childhood.
Oh, I really like that one too.
Oh,
Dun,
yeah.
dun,
Is that the one with like where it's like fall kind
dun,
of?
Kind of. Dun,
Like
dun.
there's like visually like there's like reds and oranges and leaves blowing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Visually in general, the performances were all stunning.
Absolutely.
Even with CG hands.
Yeah.
Even with those CG fingers.
That's what impressed me the most about that show, is that they did CG hands and made it look fucking amazing.
Yeah, that was one part of that show that I was absolutely just blown away by.
CG that doesn't suck.
No, yeah, it was extremely well done. And to the point where it, like, I would say that it didn't really disrupt with the 2D bits of animation. Like, it was integrated really well. And I can't say that for too many other shows that use CG.
I mean, just look at Beck, a great music show with bad CG.
Beck is amazing. The soundtrack earns it a pass.
Absolutely. I agree. I love Beck. It's one of my favorites.
Same.
I need to go into Beck because I love music.
Oh, you'll really like it, Dakota, I can tell.
All right, Allie, I have a question for you.
All right, what is it?
Beck, dub or sub?
When I watched Beck, I watched the dub.
Same.
I really like the dub of Beck.
Mm-hmm. I can't, like, I love everything about the sub except the music. Because
I agree.
Like,
I didn't like the English.
Did they change it?
All right, they
So,
they dubbed the music. All right, so that's one. Two, there are certain songs that they couldn't get the licensing for, so they just changed those songs completely.
Oh.
Three, like, granted, like, I love the music from the dub. I think it was really well done. But the reason why I don't like the music from the sub is a lot of the songs that they're doing are in English, and it's really bad English.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. The English is the reason I had to go dub for Beck.
I would love it.
Beck has been on my watch list for so long.
Honestly, just sit down and watch it and you'll be really sucked in. Because I remember when I sat down and watched it and I just consumed that show in like probably less than 2 days. And it's, I think, 26 episodes or so. 24.
Just go into it with the mindset of this is going to be a really slow burn.
Absolutely.
Because Beck is paced incredibly slowly. Like I feel like they could have condensed it a little bit and it would have been better. But I feel like it would have lost something if they would have gone that route. Like, I'm happy with it the way it is. It's just I wish I would have gone into it knowing what I know now.
That doesn't sound too bad. Slow burns usually don't bother me.
As long as
Like,
they have enough to keep me hooked.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know people criticize Steins Gate, for example, a lot for having a really slow first half, but I actually really enjoyed the first half. Mostly,
I enjoyed the first half as well.
I was so intrigued by the world. I was just so intrigued by everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a character-driven show for like until they actually make the microwave thing. But after that, it goes like 0 to 100.
It really does.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Shit gets crazy.
It's like, okay, you guys are done dicking around. Time to fuck up your whole entire life. Let's do this.
Multiple times, as many times as we can.
My favorite part about the Steins Gate plot, wise, when it comes to the movie and the actual show, is the fact that, as much as I love her, she couldn't go one time witnessing one death in time travel, and freaking Hyoyin Kyoma had to go through it like thousands of times or hundreds of times.
A shit ton. I don't remember the number. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. Where were we?
Well, now I'm just thinking about Kurisu and Steins Gate, and I'm getting like feelsy over Steins Gate because I really also love Steins Gate.
Oh yeah, Steins Gate's one of my favorites.
It's definitely one of my favorites.
I'm a sucker for a time travel show though, so.
I am too, but my only problem is that you have all these. I'm really hoping they do something more, because you have a time travel show that talks nothing about. It just talks up the future without actually visiting it, and or showing anything from it except for characters that come back.
See, the most interesting part of Steins Gate that I liked was how they kind of explored the butterfly effect. I really like that.
Yeah.
We also have to keep in mind that there's going to be a sequel.
I heard
Steins
about
Gate
that,
0.
and I got really excited. I just hope it doesn't suck.
Studio?
It's
sort of like an alternate ending, at least at the start. It's like an alternate ending.
Yeah, I remember that.
Except it ends like it's an alternate ending that leads to like the shit world, and it's about them having to try to fix that stuff. Yeah, no, it sounds like it's gonna be awesome.
I'm probably gonna love it so much and cry.
Do we know if it's gonna be a series or a movie?
I don't think it's been announced yet.
I hope it's a series, because that doesn't sound like something that they can do in 90 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'll take 12 episodes over a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, just 12 episodes, I'd be fine.
Is it White Fox again as well? I hope so.
I hope so too. I know that the character designs, something changed over in the visual novels, and then the character designs were changed and altered. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's going to be affecting the studio at all. I guess we'll see.
I know that White Fox did like an episode recently. That was just like a 20-minute special. That was supposed to be like sort of like a first episode of Steins Gate 0, and it like leads right into the start of it. But there hasn't, and that actually came out in December.
Really?
Yes, so you should definitely watch that if you want to get hype for Steins Gate 0. But there hasn't actually been any information announced about when 0 is actually coming out. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a series, just judging by the fact that they did an episode for it, and they've already done a movie for Steins Gate. Yeah, I don't know. Just the whole premise and everything just screams series. It wouldn't work, like you said.
All right, Jack. So what have you been watching?
Pretty much all week, I've been rewatching Eva for the second time.
Eva.
Well, rewatching it for the first time. But yeah, the second time I've watched it. And it's been a while, too. Like, I saw it years ago. It was one of the first shows I watched. And so I don't know, I don't think I appreciated it enough the first time I saw it because of that. And now the second time, I've just been completely absorbed.
Can I have a confession?
Go for it.
I have a bad habit of when I'm watching a show and I don't want it to end, I kind of like put it off, and then I keep putting it off. So the list of shows include Eva.
How far did you get?
I got until the episode where like Asuka has to go into the volcano.
Oh man, you didn't get far at all.
Yeah, you really didn't get
I
far
got,
at all.
like, episode 9 or 10, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that was like really early,
Dakota?
right after Asuka showed up.
And then
Don't you own a copy of Eva?
Yes.
A platinum edition copy of Ava.
I hate you so much.
Excuses. I want to hear
It's
the
like
excuses.
I make people are like, you son of a bitch. If I had that, I would be watching it right now. and you have it, and you're just letting it dust on your shelf.
Dakota, I would definitely say, like, go into Ava being prepared for it, because once you get, like, stuck in Ava, you will powerhouse through it, and you'll be really fucked up at the end of it, especially if you watch End of Ava right after. And then go back and rewatch the last 2 episodes as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen End of Ava at all.
You have not?
No, I only watched the series, and then didn't, and then I was putting off watching End of Ava because I wanted to rewatch the whole series before I watched End of Ava.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I think
excited.
You'll appreciate it way more now that you're rewatching the series and you're actually like being more into the series than you were the first time you watched it, because End of Ava is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I've rewatched it over 20 times. I usually try to rewatch it like once every couple months, like a pretentious loser. And then I like throw myself into an existential crisis, and all my friends are like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I watched End of Ava again, guys."
End of Ava.
I have to talk about it. Anywhere can be paradise as long as you have the will to live, guys.
I'm almost done too. I'm on like episode 20 something.
So you're gonna watch the movie afterwards?
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna marathon it tomorrow.
You
Saturday.
have to. You
And
have
then you
to.
can pretend the rebuilds don't exist. That's perfect.
I need you to send me your thoughts on it right after you finish it, because I'm curious to see how you'll handle it the first time through, since you didn't watch it after you watched the series the first time.
Yeah. Do I need to watch Death and Rebirth?
No.
Like
No, you can skip
No.
it.
Okay. Is it? I assumed it was just sort of like recap.
It is. It is. It's totally unnecessary. The only thing that you really need is End of Ava, and I would definitely recommend like finishing the series, watching End of Ava, and then going back and rewatching the last 2 episodes, because End of Ava is basically the physical things that are happening in the last 2 episodes of the show. And so when you watch the last 2 episodes, you kind of don't fully get the gist of it until you watch End of Ava, and then you're kind of confused as to what happened back then, because End of Ava is going to fill your mind.
I have an idea. Why don't we, me and Jack will finish Ava, him again, and then me finally finish it. And then we should totally just have an Ava podcast.
I'm down.
I'm so down. I can talk about Ava forever.
And one of us will cry
to talk
at the
about the
end.
show as is.
I will probably cry. Ava means a lot to me, guys.
The one thing I have struggled to understand while rewatching it is why it gets as much hate as it does from some people.
Too deep for you?
That's the impression I got.
Shinji?
The main thing I don't get is how
Shinji
much
too?
shit that Shinji gets.
Alright, can I offer some perspective? Because I don't like Shinji.
Really?
And-
Okay, let's
My-
go.
Alright,
As a
I think
character or just like his personality?
a little of both. Like, I think he's a well-written, well-developed character. Like, his character arc, extremely well done. But I can't sympathize with him. I can't stand him. And I think a lot of that plays into, or is affected by, my age. The age at which I first saw this. I'm actually closer to Misato's age. Or was closer to Misato's age the first time I watched the show.
That's fair.
So-
I was 17 when I watched it the first time, so it had a lasting impact on me.
Yeah, I was 17 or 16, somewhere
So-
around there.
So I think I would have related more to Shinji if I would have watched it earlier. And I really regret putting it off for so many years.
I actually went into Ava totally not understanding what I was going to get at all. And I remember watching the first couple of episodes and being like, why do people think that this is one of like the anime that you need to see? And then I got to around episode 4 and was completely sucked in and stayed in my room for like 2 days. And I remember my mother coming up and being like, are you still watching that show? And I was like, you really can't talk to me right now, because I can't. I can't just be a normal person right now. And then I watched End of Ava and I didn't really get it the first time. And then I watched it again and I was just, I was blown away. Blown away.
I think what I do if I had to watch End of Ava, or if I'm going to watch End of Ava, I'll watch it alone the first time, and then I would have somebody that's really into Ava watch it with me the second time.
Hit me up.
Done.
I got you. Yeah, I watched it alone the first time, and then the second time I watched it with Goat Jesus, and it was a great
He
experience.
loves it, doesn't he? I think with Shinji, I know that for me personally, the reason why I like him is just because I feel like I know that if I was in the same situation that he was in, I would totally be acting the exact same. And that's why I relate to him.
Absolutely.
I would have got myself killed.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
I don't think I ever would have gotten into Robot, to be honest.
Well, who was your favorite character from Ava, Lou, if you didn't like Shinji?
Masato.
Oh, okay.
Masato.
Then we're on the same team.
Yeah, Masato's my favorite character, right? Yeah, right now. And I haven't even seen End of Ava, so I have no idea.
Can we talk about the most important thing about Ava, though? I haven't decided if I'm Team Asuka or Team Rei.
I think I'm Team Rei just because, like, she's kind of neutral, and then Asuka's, like, negative points.
Yeah, dude. I can't stand tsunderes. I'm not a tsundere guy.
See, I always felt that
Asuka
Asuka was the only tsundere that I've ever really experienced that has the right to be a tsundere. Like, is totally, there's an explanation for exactly the way that she is.
That's fair.
Which is why the rebuilds make me sad.
It makes sense that she's a tsundere.
Because fucking Mari.
Yeah, fucking Mari.
Dude, she took everything away that Asuka was, like, supposed to develop into.
Absolutely. And then thus became a dumbass tsundere. Like, ones that are just tsunderes to be tsunderes, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm like, why do you gotta be a dick?
Alright, Ava podcast.
Yeah, we totally started Ava podcasting, guys.
Where were we? Magical Girls? or something?
Magical Girls.
That's related to
time
Ava,
travel
right?
and-
I have
Still on
something
topic.
that's
And
kind of
music.
related to Ava that isn't Ava. I've been watching Bokurano.
I have not seen that.
That has been
Same.
at the very top of my to-watch list for way too long.
It feels
I know I'm gonna watch it
so
really soon.
much like Ava.
Sell us on it.
No,
Sell us
it's
on
a lot like Ava. Like creatures invading Earth or trying to destroy Earth, and a group of teenagers are forced into a situation where they have to fight off the impending invasion. And it's just a sad show, and all of them have really damaged and messed up circumstances around them. I'm only about like 6 episodes in, and I'm already sold on the idea of watching this show. I will say where it does fall short is none of the characters have really created a lasting impression on me. Like, it's not like I got with Ava where I knew who the characters were, they were developed, because there's 15 kids like trying to pilot this robot.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So there's just so many of them, and I don't feel like I'm given enough time with any of them.
That makes sense.
How long is the show?
I think it's like 24 episodes.
Yeah, then they definitely got overambitious there.
You tell me, should I start watching it like right after I finish Ava? Would that make sense? Or would it sort of run together too much?
Yeah, I would put some time between it, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, I initially, after I watched Ava, I intended on watching that, but it felt like it would be too much. So I held off, and I waited until I actually bought a copy. And so I put like about 1.5 years, 2 years between, you know, watching Ava for the first time and watching Bokurano. Another show that feels very similar to Ava that I watched recently was Karukano. Karukano is great. You guys should watch it.
Yeah.
Just stop watching at episode 18. Like, do not
Don't
watch
go past it.
Do not watch past 18.
Huge disclaimer. Don't go past 18. It's not worth it, guys. Stop there.
Yeah, everything after that ruins the show. It makes it.
That's
fucking
always
horrible.
sad. That's always sad when that happens with shows. Especially when you really want them to end up, like, coming to a strong conclusion and they just shit the bed completely. It's like, come on, you had a chance. You got so far already and then you just dissolved.
And the ending is, you know, it's what you leave the show with, too.
I mean, that show was filled with production issues, like from the start. Like really early into the show, that was it like 4 or 5 episodes in, there's a recap episode.
Really?
Oh my god.
It was kind of ridiculous.
I hate recap episodes so much.
I just skip them.
No, I skip. You know, I skip them. I have no problem with them, but it's just the fact that it had to exist is what's an issue, because this
Yeah.
was a made-for-TV.
It's just
anime.
a waste of 24 minutes, yeah.
And there was a lot of those really common animation shortcuts taking place still frames, recycled footage. Its production is really interesting. It's the typical Gainax style show.
Okay.
I just want to give a shout out right quick to my neighbor who is playing Candy Crush, and you can hear them.
You can hear them playing Candy Crush.
Yep.
Ask
How
them if
loud
I
do they
can
have
play.
that turned up?
Yeah, how does that even work?
Ask him to add me.
Send me a request, man.
I'm gonna add your neighbor on Facebook.
I'll just go through
Invite him to play
and you
Candy
can add
Crush.
him.
Candy Crush. I didn't realize people still played that.
Candy Crush is a great anime. I'm looking forward to the adaptation.
Yeah, Candy Crush the animation, guys. It's gonna be great.
Who's gonna do it? What studio is gonna do it?
Shaft.
Dude, did you guys know that there was a I forgot what it was. It was Subaru, I think, that teamed up with one studio.
I think it was Gainax.
It was Gainax, and they made an anime.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Gainax fucking sold out.
That was a thing. It was a complete. It was just like Subaru wants to make an anime. Oh, okay. Or
The car company.
Yes.
yes.
I'm so confused.
Is it about cars?
No, it's about this girl whose name's Subaru.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
It's called Wish Upon the. I can't remember the last name.
Wish upon the
Wish upon
Pleiades or whatever. But it is a Gainax show. And it's sad
That
to
kinda
see where
makes me wanna
Gainax is
die.
now. They just need to take advantage of the fact that they probably still own the rights to Panty and Stocking, and just make a second
Oh
season.
Yeah.
my god.
They just take out the last 5 minutes of Panty and Stocking and then make a second season.
You know, I would be totally fine with that because I really love Panty and Stocking. It's one of those shows that I really just love to put the dub on and just listen to
Oh,
it in the
yeah.
background because I just catch the lines in it and just laugh my ass off every time.
Can we just just acknowledge the fact that that ending happened?
Let's not spoil the ending, but yeah, it did happen.
But it occurred.
And if there ever was a sequel, I would want them to completely just ignore the fact that it existed. Like, not,
Retcon the shit out of
not
that.
necessarily, or maybe just acknowledge it, but never explain how they resolved it. Like, I don't want it retconned. I want it to be a part of the series, but I don't want, I don't want them to continue the narrative from that point. You get me? It's just like, oh, it just happened. We're good now.
Tiptoeing
And
around
then just move
spoilers
on.
is hard.
I almost wish that Panty and Stocking could be like Rick and Morty and there'd just be so much of it so I could just watch it all the time. Because the jokes in that were just beautiful.
I hurt myself today.
Easy there, Trent Reznor. You're gonna give us a copyright ID or content ID.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get slammed with that content ID. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get a copyright strike on the first episode, guys.
No 9-inch nails.
We're gonna have no more. We're gonna have no more videos over 15 minutes. We're gonna have to do 10-minute podcasts. We'll release them in parts.
10-minute podcast in increments.
Flash podcast.
Episode 1, part 1. Episode 1, part 2.
And we'll release them like 3 years apart, just like the rebuilds. Getting back to
Yeah,
air.
episode
Never get our
1.11, you cannot podcast.
I think you just found the
We're
name
never
for the
gonna be able-
podcast. I just remembered that you mentioned earlier that you started R2, and I was
Yeah.
excited about it when you mentioned it, and I forgot.
Okay.
So I want to hear about your experience with R2.
My experience with art. Okay, so Code Geass was another one of the animes that I mentioned earlier, where if I like something enough, I'll put it to the side and hopefully get to it later. And I finally, after a few months, did, and that was the biggest mistake of my life because at the beginning, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. Granted, even if you went from the last season to the next season, you still wouldn't know what the fuck was going on until 17 minutes into the first episode. Mm-hmm. But, oh, dude, Lou, R2 blows my mind. And I think you know why, just by episode 1 and 2.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a certain thing that people have that you didn't think they had.
Yeah. It's been a few years, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Code Geass, but I think I know.
There's a certain twinkle in certain people's eyes that you didn't think were there.
Oh, Yeah.
or didn't expect, and when you saw it, you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Just stick with it because it does a lot of interesting things.
It definitely does.
I disliked the vast majority of R2.
I agree.
The ending was great, fantastic,
And see, I already know what happens at the end.
but like just the middle bit is just the worst fucking thing ever. I want to kick it down a flight of stairs, light it on fire, and then run it through my garbage disposal.
Right next to Kirino.
Yeah.
I have yet to see. I have yet to start Code Geass. I've seen episode 1 like 3 times, and because whenever I sit down to start it, I just get sidetracked and never do. And I know I really need
But
to.
Johnny Young Bosch. So, quick question. What was with the OVA that came out this year for Code Geass?
There's always a bunch of them, isn't there? I thought there was more than one.
Really?
Yeah, it's...
I've never bought.
I don't really know.
What's their point? What are they about?
I never bothered,
Yeah.
so I have no idea.
Same.
I've pretty much seen a Code Geass OVA like every season for the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Like,
And I
year.
always wonder, I'm like, what the fuck could they do with Code Geass anymore? Can't we just leave it alone? It ended fine. Let's leave it there.
I never hear anyone talking about any of them either, so I just kind of assume that like they basically don't exist.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't think I've met anyone who's actually watched them.
Yeah.
And if they have, no one ever talks about them at all.
Like I don't think they've any of them have been licensed. So I don't think enough people are gonna
That
to
could be
put
one.
the effort towards finding them on secret Netflix.
Yo, what happens if, what if basically, Sunrise makes Code Geass the new Gundam, where instead of a bunch of, like, different mechs that aren't Gundam, it's a bunch of Code Geass OVAs.
Nah, dude. They should make more Cross Ange, because Cross Ange is great.
Cross Ange is great. Shout out to the first episode with that right hand.
Shout out to every episode, because it's filled with Yuri and violence and dragons and fucking robots. Everybody calls it trash. I don't care. I had so much fun watching that shit.
The beauty in Cross Ange is the fact that it knows it's trash and it knows it's going nowhere, so it just has fun where it's at.
No, absolutely.
Which means it's not taking itself too seriously, which is
Exactly.
always nice.
Which is part of the reason why I enjoyed Kensen Robo Daimadaler so much. Which for those of you that have never seen Kensen Robo Daimadaler, if you've seen the channel trailer for this channel, that's the clip of the penguins with the dicks dancing. Yeah, that's from Kensen Robo Daimadaler.
Backwards
That's
tails.
what that's from.
Yeah, the backwards tails.
Yeah, and it's funny because if you watch the
Backwards tails,
dub of
yeah.
it, they call it their genitals.
Your genitals. Their genitals.
Shout out to the trailer.
Yes.
Go watch
Shout out to
that.
Genitalia.
Excuse me, do you want to touch my genitals?
That show's so good. You guys all need to watch it.
I will.
I would probably
it's in our
enjoy the fuck
preview.
out of
It's in
it.
our preview. I need to watch it. I have to watch it now.
I feel like we're liable to watch it now. Like, we have to.
Yeah, we basically represent it now.
Do you guys know what it's?
That's
You know what
that is
it's
the one
about,
requirement
because
to be
I
a part
can-
of the
Is it the
podcast.
same one with the guy who rips off his shirt and there's a bra there?
No.
that's a different one. I think I watched that one just to, like, understand where that gif came from.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right. So the basic premise of the show is penguins come from another dimension and are trying to take over the world, and they do so in a penguin-shaped mecha. And the humans have a defense force that have their own ugly-ass mecha, and it is the worst mech design that I've ever seen. And the way they power their mecha is with erotic energy.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah, I would really love this.
And the thing is that the penguins aren't even that bad. Like they go to the main character's house at one point and it's like, oh, his porn is out here. We need to put it away for him so he doesn't get in trouble.
God, where are the penguins when I was in high school?
Who leaves their porn out?
Incognito mode, yeah.
Yeah,
real
incognito
question.
mode, guys. Shit.
Shout out to
Google.
Google Chrome knows what's up.
History. Hashtag clear all. Hashtag put your passwords back in. And act like nothing's wrong.
Hashtag clear cash money records. Patreon. Send us money.
Speaking of like possibly masturbating to anime-esque things.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm gonna bring up.
I knew you were gonna bring this up, and I thought about bringing it up earlier, but I wasn't
And
gonna go
I was
there.
waiting for somebody to do it.
I thought about it. I
What's
really
up with
did.
the NSNBC or the MSNBC with that one little spoof of like the guy going, Donald Trump supporters are all.
Is that actually a spoof?
It's not a spoof. It's. To
I was
us
gonna
it is,
say,
but
I don't
it's
think that's
legit
a
thing.
spoof.
No, he really said it.
But he goes basically that Donald Trump supporters are basically just a bunch of men who masturbate to anime.
He's got a weeb son, man.
I think the exact quote was something like childless middle-aged men who masturbate to anime.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I was kind of like, great.
With like Hitler avatars on their Twitter accounts.
Yeah, Nazi
That's
iconography.
a very specific like shot like a very specific stabbing out. Is that the word I'm looking for?
I mean, yeah. Shout out to Donald Trump for getting that key demographic.
Yeah, there's
Dude,
like
I bet
one
that,
guy that applies to, and I'm sure he has his like pro-Trump sign in his front yard. And he's like,
I'm
fuck
wondering
yeah,
if
they
that
know
guy
it's
has
me.
a son. I'm wondering if that guy has like a son that like is a full-out weeaboo, and this just hits home for him.
Yeah, he's got his daikis everywhere.
Maybe he's a secret otaku. I even sent a tweet out. I was like, yo, if you are like really a secret otaku, just meet me in Salt Lake, man. We'll go see the new
I saw those, and you made me
Monogatari.
so happy with that. I
We'll go
saw
see the new
those, and I just
Monogatari together in the
laughed.
movie theaters. It's so let me think here.
It's when you gotta like slide into his DMs and be like, "I'll bring some extra Kleenex just for you."
Dude, God. So thanks to Callan who had a nip slip in Code Geass, I am now a Donald Trump supporter. Thanks, Code Geass. Thank you, Yoko Lindner. Thank you. Damn it.
Oh, so did you guys hear that that the Pshyco Pass film is going to be getting a theatrical release in the US?
Is it really?
It is in March.
did, yeah.
Like for some reason,
That
Funimation
has
has
me
decided that they want to do this with
cautiously
all their
pumped.
movies because they're doing that with.
I'm happy with it.
All right.
Yeah, they're doing it with the Boy and the
Yeah,
Beast too.
they're doing it with the Boy and the Beast. They're doing it with this. I know Aniplex is countering that by doing it with Kizumonogatari. So yeah, it's a good thing. Anime is taking off in the West, and
I remember my first ever like anime. I went to go see Ava 3 in theaters, or 3.0, and there were just Ava cosplays everywhere.
Does
At
anyone
this
else
main
remember
place.
going to see the Pokemon movies in theaters, guys?
Oh God! And,
Yes, I still have my holographic Mew card. Thank you.
and we had to
That's
stop
nice.
by. We had to stop by going to Burger King on the way home so we can get that toy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Yu-Gi-Oh movie that came out in theaters.
Oh,
we
yeah.
we got a Yu-Gi-Oh card when you got up there, dude.
Yeah, and you got those like pyramids.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god, I used to collect those. I remember going to the theater, and I can't remember if I wore my dual disc or not, because I had one. And I loved that thing.
But the Ava 3 movie, there were cosplayers there, and you could just tell half the people that were going in there watching another movie were just like,
the fuck is going
what the
on?
fuck do we just walk into?
What the fuck is wrong with these people? What are they dressed as?
Christ. It was like amazing how that was my first anime movie, and then it moved on to me and Brooks went to go see The Wind Rises.
that's a good movie.
Followed by
That's a really good
It is a good movie.
Oh yeah.
I have yet to watch it, and I'm actually really mad at myself. And that's the same with the Tale of Princess Kaguya. I've heard great things about Kaguya.
All right. I own both of them, and
I also own both of them.
Kaguya is it's a good movie. It's just a little long for my taste. Like I feel like they could have cut a good 30 minutes out of it, and it would have been perfect. But I'm in the minority in that opinion, so you'll probably enjoy it as is. I will say though, of the recent Ghibli releases, When Marnie Was There is definitely the most underrated of the three.
I really need to see that. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. It's been on my list forever because I remember when they released the trailer and I was really interested in it. And I'm surprised it hasn't gotten more buzz.
Yeah, that's the one. That is like the one Ghibli movie I have yet to see. Because I've seen all the other recent ones.
It's really good, and it's already been released. I highly recommend it. I legitimately enjoyed it. I would say probably within my top 10 of Ghibli films. I've seen...
What is your favorite
is
Ghibli film?
Probably Spirited Away. So Spirited
Really?
Away...
That's mine.
I like Spirited Away.
Then Mononoke.
I like Ponyo.
I'm a Kiki's girl.
Why does everybody hate Ponyo?
I do like Kiki.
Ponyo looks fantastic, but it just feels... I guess, compared to the other Ghibli films, like, too childish. Which, it's a movie...
Yeah, Ponyo was the one that I had no desire to see.
I don't know. Like, I liked Ponyo more than Arrietty. I'll say that much. I fucking hated Arrietty. And...
Yeah.
Not a lot of people liked Arrietty.
No, and Earthsea was fucking terrible. Like, Tales from Earthsea is just... That was the movie that his son did, and it was his son trying to be Miyazaki. And it didn't work. But when he...
I can impress you, Dad.
But when he did...
Has anyone seen Up on Poppy Hill? I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I like that movie.
I actually really liked Up on Poppy Hill.
Yeah, when Marnie was there, that movie feels a lot like from Up on Poppy Hill, only with a little bit more.
Yeah,
of a
I'll definitely
supernatural
really
element to
enjoy it. I'll really enjoy it.
I know that Spirited Away I'm always a little biased towards Spirited Away just because it was the film that got me back into anime, because I watched, like Pokemon and DBZ when I was a kid, but then I kind of stopped, and then I watched Spirited Away, like, I forget how many years ago it was now, but yeah, and I just absolutely fell in love with it, and then I marathoned a bunch of other Ghibli works like Princess Mononoke and everything.
What got you back into anime, or what started you in anime?
I was actually just about to say funny story, because I also grew up watching Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was a huge Naruto weeb, from age 9 to 11 or 12. Like, it was really bad, and I'm really ashamed, and I dressed up as Sakura, and spray painted my hair pink one Halloween, and I used to go to school with my tuning vest and shit like that. Like, it was bad. But
oh man, dude, I can cringe at my old self.
Oh, I cringe all the time, but what got me I fell out of anime for a long time, and what actually got me back in was I started rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I watched Legend of Korra, and I started following and looking online for Legend of Korra stuff. And a lot of the people that I was looking at their stuff that would talk about Legend of Korra were live blogging Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I really was very interested in the screen caps that I saw, so I watched FMAB, and that was what pulled me back into anime completely.
Funny story, that's also what pulled me back into anime. After watching Spirited Away and a bunch of Ghibli movies, Brotherhood was the first series that I actually watched. Yeah, and Brotherhood's still probably my favorite.
Oh, I have such a soft spot for Brotherhood.
Same, yeah.
Ali, can I make a recommendation though? If you really liked Avatar: The Last Airbender, I highly recommend watching Moribito.
Yeah, you recommended me that before, and it's definitely on my list because it looks like something that I would actually really like.
Yeah, it has a strong female character, a very tightly written story. It's just a really well constructed world, and it feels so much like Avatar.
Oh, that's gonna be right up my alley. Right up my alley. I'm making puns out of my own name, guys. Stop me.
Oh my god. Well, the podcast is dead.
I killed
That's
it.
It is.
Allie's
It
been
is
kicked out of the Skype
completely
call.
burned.
At least I'm laughing at my own shit, joke.
That self-humiliation humor.
That's good that you are.
I found it really funny. That's all that matters. I found it really funny. Sound conceited.
Dakota, how did you get into anime?
Oh, I asked you first, you bastard.
We're cutting that shit out.
Okay, alright, so, God, that tone of voice, man, that hurt. It was either, that just sounded like you said, sound out your channel and get the fuck out of here, or say how you got in the anime now.
You have an ultimatum.
I'm not saying that.
So, No, I was definitely that, like, at one point I was a little bit cringeworthy of myself in middle school, but through excessive bullying, I kind of just dropped everything nerdom. And I got back into, I think I was in 10th grade, and I saw a YouTube advertisement for Vandread, and I was like, and they showed, like, I'm not gonna lie, they showed a fan service shot, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll watch it, let's do this.
Plot.
I was like, yeah, plot.
So fan service dragged Dakota back in.
Yeah, fan service basically just... It was a scene where he was peeking on this room, and then fell into it, and basically his face landed in her ass.
That'll do it. Yep.
And that was basically what got me back into anime.
Nice.
So I watched that.
Great taste
and
confirmed.
Then through Vandread, since I had the mech aspect of it, shout out to Gonzo for those CG mechs, I got into Eureka 7, and then from there, I started going on, so...
And then eventually you found Mysterious Girlfriend X.
And then my life was set.
It's funny, because I was also in 10th grade when I got back into anime.
Nice. Yeah, dude, I couldn't find a waifu until I found Mysterious Girlfriend X, and I found Urabe, and I'm like, oh, she's my everything.
Wait, I was also in 10th grade.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
It seems to be a reoccurring... We should just be... like, I think I skipped, and I think my senior year, there was an anime day in the library, and during lunch, you could choose to go to the library and watch Trigun. They were playing the first 4 episodes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I skipped one of my classes just so I could sit there and watch all of the first 4 episodes of Trigun.
Nice.
Damn, that's actually awesome. My school was nothing like that.
My school used to have a lot of weebs that used to sit. They used to shove us in the auditorium because they didn't want us to hang out in the commons area because it was a fire hazard. So I used to sit, and there was this group of weebs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they shoved you in the auditorium because they didn't want a bunch of weebs.
No, I used to just sit in this like certain section, and there always used to be these kids that would run in, and they would like call each other Chan and San, and they would talk out loud, like super loudly about their Black Butler fanfiction. And I used to just sit there and be like, I like anime and I'm not like that.
I now know my limit.
I think my school had an anime club, but I'm pretty sure they only watched Naruto, One Piece, and Fairy Tail. And Bleach. That was all they ever talked about.
So super
Shout out
shonen.
to that middle school fan base. I just can't let go now.
So Lou, how did you get back into anime and or into anime in general?
Okay. I have
Was it fan service?
No, Dakota, it wasn't fan service. But I've gone through many phases where I come into anime and step out of it. I actually started watching anime in the late 80s and early 90s with shows like Captain Tsubasa and the original Dragon Ball. Then I watched Saint Seiya. And this is all within that span of time where I don't know what anime is. I just see cartoons and I think it's badass. And I eventually come to learn circa Dragon Ball Z's Toonami Run what anime is. And I take a legitimate interest in it. But this is before the internet was what it is today. So I kind of was forced to take a step back until I was a senior in high school, where I started dating a giant weeaboo, and she introduced me to shows like
Black Butler fanfiction.
Actually, I think this.
I'm sorry, I'm ruining.
I think this was before Black Butler, so this goes back. No, it was shows like Samurai X, and I want to say. Yeah, it was mostly Samurai X because she was really into Rurouni Kenshin. And then again, I fell out of it, and then I got into Battle Shonen in my late teens, early 20s. Then fell out of it again. And I went a few years without watching anything. Until one day I was just like, I feel like watching Elfen Lied.
Oh, God.
Nice.
Because I remember randomly someone that I worked with when I was like 19 or 20 said, hey, this show's pretty badass, you need to watch it. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna watch it. And then I watched the first 12 minutes and I was like, this is really fucked up, I want more of this. And then I went and binge watched all the like hyper gore anime that I could find. So I went from watching Elfen Lied to Gantz to a bunch of other shit that I'm not proud of watching. And that molded me into the damaged weeaboo that I am today.
If the first 12 minutes of Elfen Lied are by far my favorite part of it, does that make me a bad person?
No, it's
crazy?
just the rest of it is awful. Like the first 12 minutes is the only thing.
That could be true. Maybe it's the best just because we don't actually know anything yet.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that like it's on Netflix when people started watching it, so people were just like, "Oh, first 12 minutes. I have to watch the rest now." For more.
It does a great job of hooking you. It immediately lets you know whether or not the show's for you.
Yeah, it's not a show that you can really Netflix and chill to. I would not recommend that.
Well,
Nope. You know that from experience? Is that a bad idea? Don't Netflix and chill with Elfen Lied.
No comment.
I just remember, I remember showing my, I want to tell them this is my last little skit for this, or skit story. I remember showing I moved to Utah to visit my mom, for a little bit because I don't see her that much, and I was like watching a bunch of anime because I worked the night shift, and I was, she walks in, she goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm watching anime," and she goes, "Oh, cool," and I'm like, "Do you want to watch one?" And, I think I was like, okay, let's start off with Selector. She liked it. Okay, let's start off with, I think I said, it was something else that was like, it was Angel Beats, and she liked that. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Hey, do you want to watch something called Kill la Kill? I shit you not, her top 2 favorite anime that I've ever shown her is Kill la Kill and Spice and Wolf.
Your mom is awesome. For a great mom story from me, I started watching NHK back when I was in high school still, and I started watching it on our TV downstairs, and my mom used to sit right by the couch, and she had her little desk, and she would sit and she would play her games on her computer and stuff like that, her little bingo games. And of course, I get to NHK, and in the beginning, it is not a great thing to watch around your parents, because I remember my mom turning around and being like, "What the fuck are you watching? Why the fuck are you watching that? What is that? Why do you like this?" And I just remember like laughing and just being like, "I promise it's not like this all the time. I promise, I promise."
Oh, you gotta love that.
My mom was judging hardcore. That side eye.
My sister has been...
It's okay, my mom...
Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's okay. The, like, few times that my mom has ever, seen anything that I've been watching, that she walked in on me watching Kara no Kyokai, like, twice. And it was both at the, bloodiest, darkest scenes, and she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Nice.
I'm not a psychopath, Mom.
See,
I am not a murderer.
my family's dynamic with anime is really interesting because my mom refuses to watch it. Like, flat out says, "I don't want those Chinese cartoons." And it's not like, she doesn't do it in the context of the meme. She legitimately believes they are Chinese cartoons, and it's adorable. My dad, on the other hand, loves anime. And my sister forces him to watch a bunch of different stuff. His favorite show is Space Brothers. He didn't like Cowboy Bebop, but he loves Samurai Champloo and Space Dandy. And my sister recently made him watch Sekko Boys, and it was hilarious.
Brilliant. Perfect. I mean, that's like, you know, is there any doubt that Sekko Boys is the greatest anime of all time?
I don't think there is.
Is anybody gonna refute that claim?
Anime has been saved.
It is the absolute savior of anime.
Alright guys, so we are definitely at time. So just go ahead and go around and shout out our stuff, and we'll just call it a day. My name's Lou, and I'm from Lou Talks Anime. You can find me at youtube.com/Lou Talks Anime now, where I bullshit about anime, and Twitter at Lou Talks Anime. Dakota, you're up.
Alright. My name is Dakota Broski, and thank you for tuning in for this first ever episode of AA. Thank you for that.
We had our first AA meeting today, guys. I think we're all coping a lot better.
Intervention time. So Anyways, yeah, you can find me anywhere on the internet under Dakota Broski, mostly on YouTube. So if you like anything anime related that's funny, and I do anything anime related, funny covers, reviews, whatever. Just go check it out and see if it's your thing. I don't know. Allie, go ahead.
Well, I'm Allie from Allie the Brave. My channel's kind of a mess right now, so don't judge me, everyone, when you go look at it. But you can find me on Twitter at SoBraveAllie, and you can find my hummingbird, which is also Allie the Brave. Yeah. That's me.
All right, Jack.
Cool. My name's Jack, and this was not the AA meeting I thought I signed up for, but nevertheless, you can find me at Under the Scope Reviews, where I do reviews, stunning, and occasionally other stuff like analysis, discussion, whatnot. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at UTS Reviews. Good.
Dope.
Alright, guys. I think we did it.
We did it.
Now we gotta clap out, right?
First episode is complete.
Does this mean we have to clap again?
Yeah.
Does this mean
We all have to get the clap
okay.
now.
Alright.
Alright.
It's a group
Who's
clap.
starting it off?
Okay.
All right. We're going to count on a count of 3.
Somebody take the lead.
1,
Okay.
2.
Wait. So,
Fucking.
1, 2, 3, clap, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, clap.
Okay.
How can we be this incompetent?
I honestly don't think it's that hard.
IR podcast.
Alright, guys. We can do this.
1,
Alright.
2, 3, clap.
Oh my god, did I go too early?
You throw me off. You go 1, 2, 3, clap, and then clap. And I'm
All
like,
right.
Yeah,
1,
because
2,
I clap
3
on clap.
is what we're going to do next time, okay? All right.
Okay.
1.
like next time
Yeah,
right
like
now?
right now,
Okay.
this second.
Jesus.
1, 2, 3.
That was really good, guys. I
was-
think we finally nailed it.
That
You
was
know
better.
what? We'll just go with the first one. The first one was closer.
Can we just start singing and then I'll just
Oh,
sync up
Jesus.
the I'll just sync up the singing and the. There we go. We'll do that. Dun 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 dun
Dun dun dun dun dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
Leave now.